This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 645 from March 2nd, 2020. Cooling down and pondering life.
18 days till hell breaks loose.
And then I just spent 8 hours on Formula One.
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast, the show where we finally announce how many teraflops we have. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpir.
12.5, thank you very much.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
Let's first off, patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. Behind the scenes, early access. Moonpir and I have a new show coming up because we're crazy and we can't stop.
Content.
Yeah, I can't stop. So go sign up. There, the $5 a month tier is the recommended one. Also, Discord. Everyone has a Discord account at this point, so you should join our Discord server. It's a very, very fantastic. We've always said it's the best community on the internet, and the best community on the internet is really great on Discord. So hop on over there, especially if you're like seemingly most of us hopping back into Division 2.
Yeah, everyone seems to be playing now. Like, my friends list is full
reopen the Division 2 channel. So hop back in there. All right. All that out of the way. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay, I've been playing all of the hottest newness of everything that's ever come out ever.
Okay.
Me, me, Bleeding Edge, 100%.
You and I are playing Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, XCOM.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm playing XCOM. It's progressing. I'm not going to say well, because it's not. Because it's XCOM.
I mean, it's still XCOM.
Yes. I'm stuck right now in that thing where, like, I know, because I've played it before, although I never beat it, I'm in that rut where it's like, I know what I need to progress the story, but am I doing myself a disservice by researching this thing first and going on that primary mission instead of doing all of the other things, which I probably should have done first? Like, there is nothing quite like invading an alien base with basic rifles because you still haven't got laser weapons yet.
Whoops.
Probably a mistake.
Yeah. I mean, you can still get it done.
I did, barely. I may have lost 3 people in my 5-person squad doing so, but I definitely got it done. Yeah. It's standard rifles, and then those stupid blue armored people come across, like the stupid blue bugs from Starship Troopers who are like, yeah, I got super armor, and I'm going to hit you for 9 damage. It's like, great. Maybe should get better body armor first.
Right. Yeah, that's always the question too, where it's like, I could get laser weapons or better body armor.
Or in my case, do neither and then go and do a really hard main mission.
Right.
So thank you, Cortez, my sniper, for basically carrying me through that entire mission. Like, he was my go-to. Lifesaver, thanks to Team Sight, I think it's called.
That sounds right. It's like the sniper version of True Sight.
It's basically he can shoot anybody his teammates can see. So if his teammates are in his viewing range and they can see somebody else who's outside of his viewing range, he can shoot them, which is super helpful when you're squishy little squishies who basically can't really go anywhere. So I suffered some losses. But I'm going to come back strong with my new recruits who now I have to level up, which is great.
Most importantly, they have no idea what happened to anyone else.
Nope, they've got no idea at all. They don't need to go and look at that board and listen to the bagpipe music at all. They can.
Those people retired peacefully.
Welcome to your new promotion.
Right.
Yes.
Those guys, they live on a beach now. They're very happy.
Yes. It looks like I need a new squad leader. You're it until you die or I find somebody better.
Yeah.
But no, it's XCOM. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. Despite the fact that this is a 360 game, it still looks good. Obviously, it runs great because it's on the X, but it's fun. It's stupid. And it's a game I always wanted to beat and for some reason just fell off of. So yeah,
Yeah.
fun. Unfortunately, I did fall asleep for Dead by Friday. Literally fell asleep with a controller in my hand on my couch. So
Dead by Friday night.
yes, Dead by Friday afternoon I was apparently.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Apex Legends. Nothing too much on that, just little bits and pieces here. I finally finished Fallout Shelter. And by finished, I mean I got the last achievement on it, and that thing is now uninstalled. Go away, you stupid free-to-play mobile games. Yeah. Especially with that
Congratulations.
achievement. Like, I hate just...
I say, what was the last one
worst.
you needed?
to get the 20 legendary dwellers who can only be gotten
That's
through
right.
lunchboxes.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I may or may not have opened 500 lunchboxes to get the last 10 that I needed.
Jesus.
After putting literally 6 or 16 days into the game. It's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm 100% done, but you're uninstalled now, so I don't need to think about it. And the most latest of latest hotness that I played, which is also my final game this week, it's not the one Boston wishes it was, because I'm sure he wants to talk to somebody about it. It's the other one. It's Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
So this week was a Game Pass week. A really, really good Game Pass week.
I will talk about a Game Pass game of myself.
Yeah, the one my wife has been
myself?
playing. Yes.
Yeah.
The Boston on Game Pass game.
Yep.
Yeah, you've been playing the one my wife has been playing, which immediately,
have.
as soon as I saw it in action, I was like, I should play that. But right now I'm playing Yakuza 0, so I will play that soon. And then before I knew it,
Play Yakuza 0.
before Sunday rolled around, it was just like, oh, I ran out of time. I guess I can't play that game that Boston's going to talk about. I'll just keep playing Yakuza 0 instead.
Shucks.
So, Yakuza 0, we've talked about it before. It's been talked to death. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, other than I'm pretty much up to where I was on the PlayStation version, which is back at Kiryu for the second time. So I'm
so a couple chapters in.
Yes, I think it's like chapter 5 I'm about to start, because I'm about to get my white suit.
Most importantly.
Yes. I have already seen possibly the greatest character introduction of all time in all media, period, which is obviously, that's the start of chapter 3, folks. That's Majima's entrance. Which is so good.
Goro Majima's entrance, which is just, it's so long and all of it is so good.
Yes, it's probably, it's hard. You get these questions a lot, like, oh, what's the best sequence? What's the best blank? Best character introduction? Like him or hate him at this point in time, Captain Jack Sparrow's introduction in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is a hell of an introduction.
It's true, yeah.
Like the standing on the mast of the ship and then literally stepping off it as it lands to port. It's like chef's kiss. Perfect character entrance for that guy. And Majima's is pretty much the same. It's I think I said it when I first played it, it's that caged animal vibe that you get from him, where he wants to rip your throat out if it wasn't for these bars in the way. Now, in his case, it might be a gilded cage. Wink, wink, get it? That's the name of the chapter. Wink, wink.
Yep.
But it's still the same thing, where it's like, it's the dude who is very clearly capable of doing some dark stuff.
Yeah.
And he's so nice and polite. It's like, the customer is king. Thank you, everybody.
He's got a business to run, man.
It's so good. Like, that whole sequence is so great. Literally just starting chapter 5 now. I've been beaten down by Mr. Shakedown like 3 times because I'm an idiot.
Dude, that guy sucks. They make him easy to see just because of how big and tall he is. But I swear there's been times I've come around a corner and he's right there. It's like, well, crap.
Yep.
Yeah, there goes all my money again.
Happened to me a fair few times too.
But boy, beating him later feels real good.
I'm looking forward to it, because there's also a Sweet Sweet Chivo related to it. So, hey, I'm going to get there eventually.
There's also nothing more terrifying than seeing this 9-foot-tall dude run through a crowd of people directly at you.
Yep. It's like, no, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sprint until I do that cool little animation where he's just like,
yeah.
And then, like,
build up that endurance.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to lie, I kind of powered my way through this bit, because it's like, okay, I've done a lot of this before. I don't need to do the many people or shuri people meditation thing with the cult again. I know the answers. I'm just going to skip through all of this conversations. Thank you very much. It's a great game. Yakuza 0 remains a great game. Slight problem.
Does it run well on the X?
Oh, it's great. Like, generally, like, it looks crystal clear. I don't think it's HDR, but it feels like it's in 4K because even from the Pro, that thing looks up-resed again on top of that. It sounds good. My biggest thing, and I don't know if it's because of the switch from platforms or if it was like this in the original version, the karaoke is off. Like,
interesting.
The timing on the buttons is very, very, very off. Like, it's... You need to press it about a beat earlier than you think you need to hit a great. So if you press it when it's on it, you get a bad or a miss. And it's like...
I never did enough karaoke to know for sure.
It feels off, and I don't know. Like I said, I can't remember if it was like this on the PlayStation version, but definitely on this version, it's like I know I'm pressing this exactly when that bar's there, so I need to I need to create this input latency in my mind between my mind seeing it and then actual pressing of the buttons.
Right.
It's strange. I've still got like 90 plus on 2 or 3 of the karaoke songs, but honestly, right now I'm just like fly as fast as you can. So you can get more money, so you can upgrade your skills, and then do everything else that you need to.
Yep. Like that. And now that you're going to see the new stuff, I can do more side quests and
take advantage of that.
Do some slot car racing.
I saw the queue with the little kid at the end of it who wants the game. It's like, that's a long quest. Yeah. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait a little bit and then come back to you later.
It's a good quest.
It is. I did get the red squirrel for the girl already, so that's good. So I've already got hair squiggle. I've done the production thing. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff I've run into. Which
the first couple ones, and thankfully none of them are missable. So
so I can just go and do them whenever. Really, I haven't really messed around with like the bowling or anything like that yet because I want to unlock everything else first. Like, I know there is like the real estate business and there's the thingo and pretty soon I have to get the I did it for an achievement, which I'm not looking forward to.
Which one's that one?
I did it for the trophy.
That is
with the adult video store.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I walked into that business not knowing what was happening, and they kind of let you know what's happening when you walk into the area, but still it wasn't. I don't know if it was stupid early for me or what, but I still walked in there, got into the room for it, and I'm like, oh, this is what's going on. And then, that trophy popped.
It took me a while too until I got in there and I was like, what sort of video place is? And like it goes to black and you come back in and you're sitting in the room and I was like, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Picking up what you're putting down finally.
Yep. So I've got that to look forward to. But like I said, right now I'm just powering through, getting to where it was so then I can slow down and take my time about it.
Yep.
But honestly, that's kind of all I've been playing because long week, Netflix, go listen to the pre-show.
Stardew Valley.
We had family game night. We got Stardew Valley. We played like 5. I think it was a 6-hour board game night yesterday with the in-laws and stuff. So yeah, it was like 5 till like 10, something like that. It was like ridiculous.
Wow. And I see that your wife tweeted out that she's going to be a DM now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, congratulations.
I couldn't heart that tweet so hard.
Yes, if you're listening or if you have any tips, specifically beginner tips as well, because this is my wife's first time ever being a DM. She's doing it for her family. So we're all going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons together. We have some things and ideas, but any beginner tips at all, just send them my way, send them her way, whatever it is. Even if you think it might be stating the obvious, because we're going to have a giant nerd who's never played DM, we're going to have my wife who's never done DM, me who hasn't done D&D campaign since I was about 15. You're going to have the brother who has never done D&D, the other brother who has, but also is a little bit of a wild card, the mother-in-law who has never done it, and then 2 young kids who are probably also going to be doing it as well.
It's a big party.
Yeah.
There's a lot going to be happening here. So any tips you want to send out, send them out. Send them to me. Send them to my wife, Moonpir Bearded Lady, on the socials.
Yep.
Even something simple, because this is going to get complicated real quick, and we're going to try and... I told her we need to get a bullwhip just to keep her mother and brother in order from not talking over everybody.
That's when you just start threatening them. What edition are you guys playing?
I'm guessing 5, because I know she's already got the paperwork and stuff for 5. So even if because we're going to use a starter set, even if that isn't 5 rules, we're still just going to take all of the stuff from it and then just transition it to 5 rules, because it's apparently the best and easiest it's been in a long time.
Yeah, it's one of the easier ones to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So
cool. Yes. That's all I've been playing.
What about you for this week?
So I've been kind of in a weird rut. I have games to talk about, but I kind of bounced all over the place because nothing's really, I guess, speaking to me right now.
Right.
I recommend Stardew Valley.
No,
That's right.
That's the other problem, is I'm trying to keep my schedule open so that when 7 comes out, I'm not trying to beat 30 different JRPGs. And so first game that I played was Horizon Zero Dawn. I had bought this way back when, right when I was in the middle of going back to college, so really did not have time to play this game. And loaded it back up, found out that I managed to get to the halfway point of the game, and then I completed a ton of side quests, got into this weird chase sequence, because I don't know why, but this game gives me anxiety issues a little bit. I don't know why.
The robot dinosaurs are kind of anxiety inducing.
Well, and like I said, didn't know why, so I popped it in, played it for probably about a good 2-3 hours, and I was taking a break. I had to go back to this mountainous region that was back towards where you started the game. There's a mountainous region to the north of there that I had a level 12 quest for, or mission, and I was level 21, so I was like, I should probably knock this out. That way it clears out. Yeah, it'll be fine. That way it clears out my quest log. I remembered how to take over one of the machines, the horse one.
Yeah.
So I mounted the horse, rode the horse pretty much all the way there, and just as I got to the base of a mountain, there was like a bunch of items and stuff that I wanted to pick up, and I could have stayed on my horse and picked it up, but I wanted to get off and look around, so I stopped by a boulder, started picking things up, and then found out that the thing that I thought was a boulder was actually a freaking Thunderjaw that was laying down.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I am nowhere near my freaking mount that I had. So I had to hump it to my mount, get on the mount, and run. And I thought I was getting away until I looked back, and that thing is still on my butt. I've got like these bird things that are chasing me, a bunch of watchers.
Oh, they're the worst.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And that's why the game gives me anxiety issues.
Yeah.
I managed, luckily the mounts are fast enough that you can just bolt through everything. Eventually I did lose them because luckily they don't follow you from one end of the map to the other. They have their own areas that they kind of stay in. So I managed to get past them, get closer to the mission, run into a bunch of other things, had to run past all that stuff. So this game.
It's so good.
But I liked it, but it wasn't really clicking with me again, so I just finished out a bunch of my side quests. I think I've got like 1 left over, and I've got 2 main missions that I am currently doing. And it's like, okay, I'll come back to this, because it wasn't that hard to pick back up again. There's just certain things like remembering that you have to craft arrows, remembering that there's 3 different types of arrows, and that kind of stuff. So it wasn't difficult. I liked it. I just don't know if it's what I want to play right now. So then I moved on to the next game, which is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Not Kingdoms of Amalur, like I keep wanting to say for some reason. I almost said it again today. I don't know what my problem is. But Friday during the day, I actually streamed this as well. I got to the point where the village gets overrun by an army. I got on my horse. The mission is called Run, so you run.
Did you run out of town and leave the town to die?
Yeah, because you're actually told to. It's a massive army. If I had to guess, it was like 6,000 strong.
It calls itself a video game. I mean, come on.
You're in a village of maybe 25, 30 people. You're not going to withstand this.
The Dragon Age protagonist would stop that village. And it's supposed to be
a hardcore not Star Wars, Jesus, God, what is my problem? It's supposed to be a hardcore Skyrim game, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get on my horse, and I believe I'm running. The horse is moving, but I keep getting shot with arrows, and there's like a group of people that's chasing you, and you're supposed to make it to this other town that's further away to warn them. And so I'm running on my horse, make it past the river, go around this hill, and I'm still getting shot like constantly. And I swear I can hear these guys yelling at me because I've got my headphones on and everything. So I've got, kind of the mock surround sound. It's like, I swear these guys are like right on my butt. Turn my camera around. Yeah, all 5 of the guys are right there. I'm like, what is going on? And I've got like a slither of health, and I'm like sitting there trying to get the horse to go faster, and it will not move, and then I die. It was like, fantastic. What is this? What is going on? So try it again, get on the horse, start running again, and this time all of a sudden the horse is actually running. And then I look behind me, and I'm actually like gaining distance on these archers. So I'm guessing the game glitched or something my first time, because my horse was not moving anywhere near this speed. Even though it felt like it was going fairly fast, it wasn't. I might as well have just been standing there.
Oh, wow. They were just tethered to you.
I don't know if they were tethered to, because like I said, the horse, compared to my second time, the horse felt like it was really running. The first time, it just, because it was your first time on a horse in the game, I felt, okay, this feels fast. But to me, who have played other video games, it didn't really seem it. But I was like, okay, maybe that's this game's speed. No, the horse just really wasn't going that fast. I don't know if it just wasn't...
It's got a broken horse.
Yeah, I don't know if it wasn't accepting my command, my button presses or what. But because I was playing with the controller as well. So I just don't know if there was a disconnect there for a moment, and the horse just wouldn't go faster than a gallop or what. But
Deliverance, anyway. Made in dreams.
Yeah.
So I made it past that, got into the next town. They took me in. The guys stopped pursuing me. And I am at the point now where I have to escape the tower to go bury this character's parents, because you see his parents get killed before you. And this guy is so tunnel visioned on this thing. Like this new town with its own stronghold and its own lord took you in, got you better because you get shot in the leg story-wise. So you're recovering from that.
Did you used to be an adventurer?
No, it was not the knee.
I'm sorry.
I know, because that was the first thing I thought of too. I was like, well, that's kind of cliched, but whatever.
Yep. I got that achievement in Division 2 this week.
Oh, did you?
Hey, there you go.
So this Lord takes you in. His wife is helping to nurse you back to health. You get back to health. And this guy wants to go back to his town to bury his parents. And that is the next mission that I am on now, where I have to, quote unquote, escape from this stronghold, because this guy is keeping you here because there's a freaking army there. The one guy showing up, you're going to be dead. And that's what this Lord is trying to hammer into your character's head is, you're not going to do your dead parents any good if you die trying to go back to give them a Christian burial.
Yep.
And this character just does not get it. I ended up talking to his wife, asking her if she could help me escape. She gave me some clues on what to do, and I just have to figure it out. But I mean, this guy is so tunnel vision on wanting to get back. It's like, dude, you're gonna kill yourself. He just seems stupid, and it's not cool. Just think about this a little bit. I get it too. It's like, I understand you want to bury your parents, but like he said, it's not going to happen if you die on your way there.
Right.
But whatever. So I'm working on trying to escape that castle. The thing that the wife said that I should try to do is try to get, which was kind of weird. She suggested that I grab some of their body armor, like their guards' body armor, dress as a guard to impersonate them so I can just walk out the front gate. And because this takes place in quote-unquote medieval times, I can't help but think she's trying to set me up, even though she's been nothing but nice and she's been nothing but helpful. As soon as she suggested that, the first thing that popped into my mind is, it's a trap.
Right. Don't listen to her as a trap.
Yeah. So I'm messing around with that, trying to gather armor and stuff. I found a couple places where I could like jump off of, certain areas to land on a hill to get out. I just don't know if the game, like, I haven't tried fall damage yet, so I don't know if this is one of those games where you jump 10 feet and you're dead.
Yeah.
Whatever. So eventually I will come back to that. It's been an interesting game. It's got a lot of systems like Morrowind where you run, your athletics goes up a little bit. You level up your individual stats, which increases your main level, all that fun stuff. But your character is inept, like game system wise. Like, you can barely hold a sword correctly. You run out of stamina after a couple of swings. Like, your character is not the chosen one. It is Joe Blow down the street who definitely doesn't have a six-pack.
Right.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting game so far. The next game that I played was No Man's Sky. And
I saw a tweet about this, which makes me real interested.
I had some very fiery things to say, and I tried really hard not to swear. So I had this game screw up on me really bad while trying to do just a community weekend goal mission, whatever. It did not affect my story or anything. Like, my save file is not corrupt or anything. It was just the simple fact that it was literally 6 hours, poof, gone.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So what happens with this community mission is you can go into the community area, you can grab this mission, and it will give you Quicksilver, which can let you buy other things. And they had an update recently where you can buy these things called void ships, where they're living ships.
Yeah, bug ships. What's up?
Yeah. And for you to be able to at least start the mission to get this, you have to have a void egg, which costs 3,000 some odd Quicksilver. The only way you can earn Quicksilver is by doing some of these community events and side missions.
Oh, okay.
I was like, all right, cool. So I had to start up all that stuff so that way I can even get into the community area, because I haven't played since they've added that. Knocked out all that stuff. That's all fine and good. But this community mission that I had to do takes place the entire weekend. So I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do it. It was basically, I think it was like 42 hours or something like that to complete this mission. And they suggest that you do it with a group of people. Up to 4 people can join it. Really, you can do it by yourself, and I pretty much did until it glitched. But the objective of this was you had to... the community area, quote unquote, discovered an anomalous signature, and they wanted you to investigate it. So you go to this planet, you basically find this big monolith that's in the middle of this planet, which is always there, and you have to go find 3 knowledge stones so you can get 3 glyphs to put into this monument or monolith, and then it will open up a gate. And it opens exactly like the Stargate, where, it's got the circle in it. The thing lights up, it blows out, and then comes back in.
Yeah,
so
that's no place like home.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet. Walk into it. It teleports you to another system. This one happened to be like 2 systems over from where I was at. And it puts you on another planet. It says, hey, this is where that reading's coming from. It's like, all right, so I summon my ship, fly over there. You get to this area, and it's a dilapidated ruin, basically. You get to the top, and there's like this diamond sitting there. You go up, you look at the diamond, and it tells you, hey, you need this item to fix this. So what you have to do is you have to start collecting... Oh, what was the first thing you had to get? It was a hexberry, I think it was. You had to have 40 of those. All right, so flip on your scanner, look around. Oh, there's a couple hexberries here. The problem is that on this world, it was also an extreme planet, so it has extreme weather. So you have 10 minutes.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you have 10 minutes of walking around, and it's not like these hexberries were everywhere. You would find a couple of them, and luckily you would find one. It would generally give you 10, and you needed 40. So
that's not
realistically, you would have to find about 4 or 5 of them, depending on what your gathering was. But they are scattered all over the place. So there were several times where my 10 minutes was up, storm was coming in, I would have to burrow underground, wait like 15, 20 minutes for the storm to go away, and then I can come back up and, check it out.
Oh, man.
Basically like being a gopher.
Yeah, the worst parts of No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Yep.
The funny thing was, though, is that this was an open community area, because I haven't messed with the multiplayer that much, so there are other people in the area doing the same mission that you are. So you're constantly hearing and feeling ships landing, and if you've heard me talk about this game before, your ships don't land how you think. They basically get about 10 feet in, from the ground, and then they just drop. So you're constantly hearing thump, thump, and you can feel it in your controller depending on how close they are to you. So the first time that was happening, I wasn't used to it. I was like, what the hell is going on? What is that? And I happened to step out and I see like all these ships landing for people doing the same mission. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And the other funny thing is that it wasn't just me that was digging holes. It was like all of the other players that hadn't played it as much, because you can have your shield set up so that way you can, be out in the middle of the storm and it barely affects you.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people in my instance of this was not that far into the game.
Right.
So you're constantly running around trying to, in your scanner visor, looking for this plant, and you just fall down a gopher hole that somebody else made to try to escape the storm. So you're constantly finding that stuff, but I eventually did find the 40 of those that I needed. After I got those 40, I then had to find 40 of something called Sweet Root, which was even harder to find. I think I spent probably about a good 2 hours getting that. Like the first one, I think I spent about an hour getting it all. The second one, I spent about 2 hours.
Okay.
Finally get all this crap, and it's like, okay, now what you have to do is you have to make a nutrient processor.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no problem. I go to make it, and it won't let me place it anywhere on this planet. Like, okay, that sucks. I wonder if I have to go back to my base, make it there and then come back. Right. So that's what I do. I warp out, go back to my base, and it completely screwed this game up at first. Because I'd left the instance, I was considered to have left the mission.
Oof. Oh no.
The thing is like, okay, so I had to restart the mission, but I still had the items in my inventory. So all I had to do was basically restart because I couldn't find, it didn't have the marker for the monolith for me to get back to that area. So I didn't know where that was, because there's 5 different planets in the system that I was in. I remember what planet it was, but I am not wasting time searching that entire planet for this one thing. So in the mission, it tells you, hey, you can hold down R3 and it will reset the mission for you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I do that. Icon comes back up. I fly to it. I just have to go find the same 3 knowledge stones, because they had to be unused knowledge stones. I hadn't used those 3 except for this mission. So I went back to the same 3, got my sigils, opened up the Stargate, went back through. It's like, all right, cool. Try to build the neutralizer there. Still won't do it, or the nutrient, whatever it was, says I can't do it because I'm still not in the area for it. All right, fine, whatever. Summon my ship, fly back to the place, get out of my ship, fall through the world, and die.
Jesus.
Okay.
All right.
Respawn back on my ship, get out of my ship. My ship is like 20 feet in the air. Everything's lifted off the ground now. And I'm like, no, this is weird. It was having some weird clipping glitch issue, whatever. A couple minutes later, everything settles back down to where it should be. Everything was working normally.
The giant thump.
Yeah. Which could have been what's been happening this entire time, and I didn't know because I was underground. So I tried to put down the equipment that I needed. Still wouldn't let me do it, but I noticed that there's a bunch of icons popping up around the area, and it looks like there are people building bases so that they can build equipment. All right, cool. I'm going to fly out to one of these. Maybe I couldn't, I was figuring maybe I couldn't do it in this area. I just had to leave, just a little bit further out so that way I could, because it was basically telling me that I did not have permission to edit the surrounding area.
Sure,
yeah.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool. So I flew out towards one of these bases. They had the equipment there. I was like, all right, cool. Let me go and use this. Go and pop in the item that I needed to use it, and it says, you can't do this. Okay, maybe it's being weird because this isn't actually my equipment that I built. Right. So I take my items back, fly to another location, jump out of my ship, and fall through the world again and die.
Oh my god.
Respawn back at my ship, and I finally find an area where I can put down the equipment that I needed to make the item. Sweet. So I put in my first item. It makes basically sugars. All right, I don't know where we're going with this, but fine. Grab the sugars, put in the next thing, and as I am coming, because it was sugars, and I had to use the sweet root, and it was supposed to give me some sort of lubricant that I needed to close out this crystal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the sugars, I have the sweet root in there. It's going through, it's doing its processing, it gets done. I hold down square so that I can pull my items out. My little bar fills up around the square, and it just sits there.
Oh, no.
And it won't let me access the stuff in it.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, quick fix. I can just destroy my equipment. It will add the equipment back to my inventory, and it will add the stuff inside of it back to my inventory.
Oh, right.
Hold down the R3 button. Circle goes all the way around, and it sits. Doesn't do anything. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It then kicks me out of that instance.
Oh, of course.
And I had to reload my save, get back into it. It sent me back to the community area, and it said, hey, we lost whatever, your connection, your signal, whatever. We have brought you back here. You will have to restart the mission. And everything that you had inventory-wise is back in your inventory. Sweet.
Okay.
Pull up my inventory. Nothing is in there of that stuff. And it says because I got kicked out of the instance, everything had to be done in that instance.
Oh, jeez.
So all the materials that I used flying around, warping all over the place, trying to figure out this glitch, the 6 hours I used in this game, just poof, gone. And
wonderful.
I was furious. So I calmly shut the game off, ejected the disc, put it back on its case, or in its case, put it back on the shelf, and didn't play video games for 5 hours because I was furious.
And there on the shelf it will live forevermore.
Yeah. And to be perfectly honest, I have not had any issues with this game since they went through and stabilized it a couple months ago. My son and I have been playing it off and on. This is the first time that I've come across this kind of an issue in a very long time. So
the game was saving all the issues for just 1 6-hour period.
And so I don't know if it was just because it was a community thing and there was a lot of other people there and something just glitched out or what happened. But like I said, my save file's fine. You know, my story progress, all that stuff, everything else is fine. It was just this mission that I was trying to do that it was just, nope. So
just want to get a bug ship egg. That's all I want.
So, yeah, I was not very happy, which led to my short rant on Twitter. But whatever. So, after a couple hours of cooling down and pondering life and whatnot, I played East Origins on my Vita. Didn't get terribly far in this one. I was stuck on a boss on level 2, I think it was, where I couldn't beat her, and you can't really heal in this game.
Right.
Eventually, I don't know about this one, but usually in the other East games, you eventually end up with a potion item that you can use to heal yourself. I don't have that right now. So when you're in the middle of a boss fight, you have your 120 health, and that's it. So get good.
Right.
So I'd gone up against this boss a couple of times, gotten really close. I'd actually showed you guys a couple podcasts ago when I was playing it before the show that I'd gotten her down to like half health, and I just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
Jumped into the game today, took her out, taking no damage.
Nice.
Or not today, but back then. So that was cool. Went up, explored. I got to level 5 in the tower. Called it good there. I have the water scales, which lets you breathe underwater, which of course then the next area you go into is all underwater. So I got through that area, got the item that I needed for that. And I was like, all right, cool. This seems like a good place to save and quit, because now I'm at a door that I need a key for that I have no clue where this key's at. I haven't come across any side things that I'm aware of, so I got to try to find where this key's at. I got a new ability so I can break down crumbling walls. But since I didn't have the ability and I didn't know crumbling walls were a thing in this game, I wasn't really looking for them. So it's probably somewhere in an area that I've been to before. Right. There's not a map for this game just because the levels, each tower level is pretty linear. So you're just basically going straight or left or right, and that's about it. So there's not really a need for a map. So I don't have anything showing me, hey, you did discover a crumbling wall back on level 1 or, whatever. So I just got to run back through it. It's not going to take that long. You just, especially now with my gear set up, I can almost one-shot everything that's not a boss right now. So it won't take that long to try to figure out where it's at. But I stopped playing that because I was still kind of mad. So I don't know what part of my broken game said, hey, let's go play Nioh on the PS4.
There you go, a nice calm game.
Yeah. Yep. So I played that. It was one of the PlayStation Gold games, whatever you want to call it. Plus, there we go. Yeah, a couple months back. It is a Dark Souls game set in, I don't even know what period, way old period of Japan.
Yeah, sort of feudal Japan, kind of.
I don't know. They do kind of give you brief dates, but I don't know if this is in-game, lore dates, or if this is real life lore dates, whatever. So I did get, at a previous time when I first played it, I did get through the first area where you're breaking out of jail, beat that boss. That took a lot of time, but I was at the point where I am in this village, this fishing village that had been overrun by some group. Don't even know who. Mm-hmm. Managed to go through that whole village, no problem. Didn't die. I took on, there's a bunch of like these demons that you will see these areas that are kind of wavy, where it looks like maybe reality is not really there. And then these demons will show up. And those guys are hard, but had no issues fighting them. Killed them all, no problem. Nice. And then I get to the boss who is on a ship, and he has these chains and these giant, like 2-ton ball weights that are supposed to be holding him down. So of course those are his weapons in this tiny little ship that's on fire that you're supposed to be fighting him in.
Right.
Didn't really know that I was walking into a boss, so I wasn't wholly prepared for it, but it's a Dark Souls like game, so you're never really prepared for anything. Right. So I was like, all right, let's do my general, let's feel this boss out, see what they do, try to figure out when's a good time to attack, defend, dodge, all that stuff. And Bloodborne, for the amount of time that I've played it, has broken me, and you never defend in a Dark Souls game, you always dodge. And I don't know why, because Dark Souls, it is perfectly fine for you to defend.
Right.
So I have taken that, playing like Jedi Fallen Order, never defended in that game, only dodged. Playing Nioh, never defend in this game, only dodge.
Right.
It's worked out fine for me so far. I'm guessing there's gonna be a point where I get hit for that, but so far it's been fine for me. So I take on this boss, I'm feeling it out, it kills me. I'm like, all right, cool, that was attempt 1, let's go attempt 2. Attempt 2, I just walk in there and stomp on it. Thing didn't even touch me, and I took it out, no problem.
Man.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Move on. I can now select, I have a map. I can select mission areas and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, this seems like a good place to stop for right now. So felt really good about that. And then I watched Formula 1 on Netflix for
there you go.
8-9 hours. So
patrons can listen to our Outcast for this week.
Yeah, it was a pretty lengthy one. So that's all I've been playing. How about you, Boston?
I played more of Division 2. There's like a time-limited event called Kenley College that comes around, I guess, every couple of months. And since I haven't played since launch, it's around now for this week and next week. And one of the rewards was the Diamondback Exotic. And it's like, cool, all right, there's 3 missions you got to do. I want the exotic because I don't have anything, so I know I can go get something. God, those missions are real bad. Look, just the first thing I've played in Division 2 that I genuinely do not enjoy. There are 3 missions, and they follow the same sort of setup through all 3 of them. You walk in, there's an echo there. for anyone that hasn't played, Echoes are like an AR display that shows up. There are 3 individual submissions you can choose where it's like, follow the server, explosives, this guy's radio. You pick one of them, you have to do all 3 of them. You pick one of them, and then it kind of says, like, go to the library and to find out more. And there's no map marker. So its expectation is, these are 3 investigation missions. The expectation is that you're supposed to investigate the area to find where you're supposed to go. When you find the area, then you're supposed to investigate the specific thing in that area, do a couple of fights, and then it'll send you like 2 or 3 different places that you've never seen before in each step of this mission. And then you rinse and repeat for all of them. Really, really frustrating, because oftentimes you will find a map to the area pretty much when you're done with it, because you like take a corner you've never seen before and someone has drawn a map on the side of it. Really frustrating. Just not the thing that I like about The Division at all. I like the shooting. I like the enemy AI. I like all that stuff way more than whatever this thing is. But I have the Diamondback, which is actually a really great exotic, and I've switched to that for my secondary, which is perfect, before they redo the loot system.
Was it weird when someone posted that they got a Diamondback, and the first thing I thought of was, oh, someone got a Diamondback Explorer?
Yep, same here. Exact same thing for me.
The other thing that I was messing around a little bit this week is, now that I'm World Tier 5, is targeted loot. This is a system I would really like if almost every other loot-based game would steal. Basically, when you log in, you open up the map, you hit the up arrow on the D-pad, and it shows you every region of the map and every mission and the raid and all that sort of stuff. And each mission or area or whatever will have a type of loot that is more likely to drop in that area. So it's like, if you go to the eastern area, like East Mall, that will have a higher likelihood of dropping gear pieces or backpacks or something. So if you know that's the piece you need for your loadout, or maybe that's the part that's the weakest in your setup, you can go over there, specifically do missions there, bring control points up to level 4 to get even more drops and stuff. And that normal gear is going to drop as well, but additionally, backpacks, gear pieces, whatever, are going to drop there as well. So if you need something, stuff's going to drop there, especially I've seen people saying like, hey, if you want one of the exotic auto rifles, just go crazy farming stuff in an area that drops assault rifles, and you'll get more chances to get it. I think that's really smart. Division 2. I wish Destiny 2 had that. So Bungie, go steal that. Division 2 is really great. Not playing a lot of it right now because Warlords of New York drops next week and everything changes and there's a bunch more content, so why burn myself out now? But Division 2 is still really good. Part of the reason why I wanted to stop playing Saga Scarlet Grace and Visions last week is because the year of JRPGs is going to continue, and I bought and started Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness, and the Secret Hideout. I have probably about 2 hours into this because of Stardew Valley. We've talked about this game a lot on the show, so I'm not going to belabor the point too much. I do have to say, number one, really like how it looks as a really solid art style, and I really like music's great, voice acting's great, all that stuff is really good. The thing I like so much about this so far has been the tutorial, and getting into the game took literally the first hour. It's, here's your 3 characters, here are their dreams, hey, we had an adventure, here's these spooky guys that kind of look like villains, and they're going to teach us how to read this language or alchemy or how to fight or stuff. Blue team go. And then they just turn you loose and they say, here's your alchemy pot. Here are the materials you need. Here's a bunch of quests to go build stuff to get you started. Go do it. Like, we're not going to hold your hand. Yeah, like, go make mistakes. Like, go find stuff in the environment and go forage for stuff and go find where to buy books to get more recipes and stuff. Like, go figure the game out. And I think that's really great because most JRPGs would be like, all right, the first 5 hours are tutorial, but they're really great. And the game is just, no, man, like, the three of you have jobs to do. So your job is alchemy. Go figure it out. I think that's really great. And so far, a lot of it for me has been wandering around town, and the fast travel system is really great. Because there are those fast travel boards everywhere.
It gets better.
Nice. Well, and I like too that after the tutorial's done, the game is just like, hey man, hit the touchpad. That will bring you back to your room in your house where you do all your stuff.
Yeah, where you save, and where you make stuff.
Yeah. And you can do that wherever you are. And it's like, man, this is really great.
And that's why I was saying too, it's like it felt really weird and archaic that I had one save spot in the entire game, but then when they do that, it's like, oh, okay, I just have a one button touch to get back to this. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because I was starting to get a little nervous because I was like, man, I've been playing for like an hour and I haven't really had a save spot. Like, it didn't do the thing that all these JRPGs do where it like zooms in on a save spot. It's like, this is a safe circle. It's like, no man, like, we got stuff to do, let's go. And then after that it's like, yeah, you just push this button and you go back home. So yeah, it seems really great. The alchemy system seems crazy in a way that I really dig, because the tutorial's like, all right, put 2 things into this circle and that expands to another circle. You put some more stuff in there, and additionally other circles will open up, and you put the high quality stuff in. It's like, oh cool, I sort of get this, but I kind of want you to let me just do it. And literally 2 minutes later they're like, that's it, go figure it out. It's like, all right, yeah, cool, thank you for not having the training wheels on me for 40 hours until the game gets good. Cough. So hoping to sort of plug away at that a little bit here and there every week in the 2020, the year of JRPGs, at least until Final Fantasy VII comes out, because boy, that is coming up here pretty soon. Month and change. But last but not least, 2 Point Hospital is the game that Moonpir's wife and I have been playing, not together. I don't know if it has co-op, probably not. It is the shorthand to this is, it is Theme Hospital. And if you liked Theme Hospital, that is my selling point. It's just that again. To explain that, because unfortunately not enough people have played Theme Hospital. Also, it's like 25 years old by this point.
Yep.
It's just frightening. It is a hospital management game. It's not really a sim, because that sounds too much like spreadsheets and negotiations and stuff like that. It very much is, here's an empty hospital floor, put offices for your GPs, put front desk for your reception, put a bunch of other rooms for figuring out and curing people, and then in start coming the really funny ailments that these people have, like
such as
lightheadedness, which is just a person with a light bulb on their shoulders, which is, I saw that and I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, they're back, okay, cool. And the way I love that the way to resolve that is the machine they get put in just unscrews the light bulb from their head, throws it out, 3D prints them a new head, and just like plops it right on their shoulders, and then they're off on their way.
Oh, okay.
It is really good. It runs really well on my ancient and sick Xbox One. So if you have any modern Xbox, it should run more than fine. I think the thing that I was most concerned about is Theme Hospital was really great with mouse and keyboard, because that's what we had. It also came out on, I think, on PS1, but I don't know why someone would play that there.
It wasn't as bad as you think.
Yeah. The controls in this are really good. They feel really natural, and there's a very short tutorial, but it's kind of like, hey man, there's a bunch of menus, and you flip between pages with R1 and RB and LB, and like you just kind of, you know how these menus work, so go crazy. It's really good. It's on Game Pass right now on Xbox One and PC, maybe? But it works really well with the controller, and I'm hoping to dive more into it this week because the core of it seems like, hey, here's Theme Hospital again, you're running the hospital. And I am excited to see what the game is when you get 40 people coming in the front door during a health outbreak, and you sort of have to manage your hospital very quickly.
Yep.
So far seems really, really, really good, which is kind of... They had originally said during the Kickstarter that they're making a spiritual sequel to Theme Hospital, and I was like, yeah, sure, okay.
No, it's basically Theme Hospital 2.
Yeah, like they just made Theme Hospital again for modern day, and I think that's really great. So go get on Game Pass. It's great. And that's all I've been playing. Let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of March 2nd, 2020. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus comes out for the PS4. I think this is coming out on other stuff too, but I don't really remember. This is another Arc System Works game, so it might just come out to PS4 because they can be a little bit crazy about stuff. So, Murder by Numbers, one of my most anticipated games this year, is coming out for Switch and PC. This is the Phoenix Wright plus Picross game.
Yeah, as if you couldn't get more in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, just like someone made a game for just me and gave it a really punny title, which is really great. So that is, I already have a pre-order for Switch, and I'm very, very excited to play this game. Also coming on Switch, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, which is a very good introductory, well, the original, I'm not sure about the new one, was a very good introductory roguelike if you ever want to play like a standard traditional turn-based, grid-based roguelike. And one that is, it will probably kick you in the teeth, but not right away. Mm-hmm. This is a Pokemon game. And last but not least, after 14 years of development, Black Mesa is coming out on PC. Yeah, coming out of early access. Yeah. So apparently, recently they put out the last patch to make the last part of Zen playable, so it is complete now. It sounds like they've taken the last little bit here to kind of buff the edges and kind of make sure everything's okay, and then it will be out, so you can play Half-Life 1 again. If that's a thing you wanted to do.
Play Half-Life 1 for the 15,000th time.
Yeah, not a game that has aged super well, but now it will look prettier. So, yeah. Moving on to news stories, Moonpir put one in here that says Moonpir is the best. That's all of our news stories for this
I didn't
week.
put that in there. That's consensus agreement by all of the journalists in the world.
I have to apologize to the listeners because Moon, if you put it in the prompter, he's gonna read it, which is why I had to delete the other thing that you typed in there. That's
right. It's in front of me. I just got to read it.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to questions here. T-Bomb Rocks in Discord says, in a recent Game Rant article, Platinum Games' Hideaki Kamiya said he wants to make a Dante versus Bayonetta. What versus character game would you want to make? I feel like keeping in the spirit of March 20th, I feel like Doom Guy versus Isabel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a hugging simulator, because the best thing about 2020 so far has been
the love between those two fandoms.
Yeah, the two opposite communities 100% falling in love with each other in like a genuinely non-sarcastic, really wholesome way.
I've seen a lot of
so good.
I've seen a lot of fan art with Doom Guy hanging out with Animal Crossing characters.
Yep, it's
there was
really
an
great.
Animation that went around this week, which is the Doom Guy picking apples from the trees and handing them to the villagers, and then it was Isabella literally killing
Losing
hordes
her mind.
of things with a huge gun. It's like,
I saw someone render a mod for Doom today where instead of you picking up the Doom Guy statues, you just pick up a statue of Isabel, and it just plays Animal Crossing music.
I know,
the secret ones in the levels.
It's probably too close to launch, but it would be really cool if they would like patch that in for one of the later games.
Yeah,
just have like
it'd be great.
Even if it's a normal Doom Guy figure, but put it in Isabel's colors and call it Isabel Doom Guy or something like that.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. But yes, versus games. Okay. Let's go. We're gonna do. I mean, if we're gonna do the Street Fighter cross Tekken cross Street Fighter style, Doom and Animal Crossing would be great because you can have them both cross over that way. Give me a. This is a dumb one. Give me a Ratchet versus Jax.
There you go. Yeah, the PS2 character action platformers.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually just thinking, do Doom Guy versus BJ Blazkowicz.
There you go. Id versus Id.
Yeah.
Or even those guys versus Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Duke's too old. He's 30 years past retirement.
So the guy from This Is the Police 2 versus Duke Nukem.
That would be pretty good.
Warren Nash. That's right. Warren Nash. 2 people will get that. Boy, what else? Bayonetta versus Dante is kind of a really great one to begin with. So I sort of feel like you're starting with a showstopper.
Oh, if we're going to go down that road, can we make it a 3-way and have Dante versus Bayonetta versus Raiden?
Oh, there you go.
Specifically Revengeance Raiden, not any of Kojima's versions.
No, you got to keep in the Platinum, the Platinum family. Yeah, man. I'm drawing a complete blank for anybody else because, like, we've already had Final Fantasy Dissidia, so that's kind of your square, Cloud versus Squall, that sort of stuff.
We've already had plenty of Mario and Sonic games.
Yep.
And we also have Smash Brothers.
True.
Yeah. Everybody is in Smash. Warframe just got announced for being in Smash Brothers. One of Warframe characters can be a spirit.
Lotus
in Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Lotus is going to be the spirit in there.
So literally everybody in any video game is going to be in. There's a chance for Doom Guy.
Put the Anaconda from Elite Dangerous in Smash. That's when I'll really believe it.
Perfect. Yep. Yeah, every once in a while, instead of an R-Wing flying in, it's just an Anaconda.
There could even be a stage, how big those ships are.
There you go. Hey, there was a Halo stage in one of the Dead or Alive games.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen.
There was also a Spartan in a Dead or Alive game, though.
Yeah.
God, she was so strong. She was so good. Man. All right.
I was just thinking about that real quick, about fighting on top of an anaconda. This would be the only way we would see the inside of an anaconda is fighting inside of the cargo hole.
Yeah.
There you go. Late Elf in Discord sends in a last-minute question here. It says, so I loaded up Yakuza 0 on the Xbox One this weekend, and my kids noticed it has 2-player minigames, which I did not know about.
Mm-hmm.
Checking out, we found access to bowling, darts, pool, and that crazy disco game, which I feel like is the best descriptor of the disco game is that crazy disco game. While playing, we realized it was the absolute first time she had exposed to any billiards games. Have you had any first-time exposures to real-world hobbies/sports from games? P.S. The second player is Majima, and she's totally into his look. Parenthetically, and no, the kids haven't seen any of the core game, but my wife thought the disco was wild, and she wanted to see the karaoke. So, any first-time exposures to real-world hobbies/sports from games?
Yep. Let me tell you all about a little Amstrad game called Super Monaco GP, which really got me into the wonderful world of Formula One.
There you go. Boy, that game's such a classic.
Mm-hmm. Like, I fell in love with that game, even though because we had the cassette loading version and the back end of it was scratched. So literally, as soon as you got to Suzuka, it crashed and you had to restart the game. But I loved it. So I would just restart the game and keep playing it, and then all of a sudden I'm a super F1 nerd.
All right.
Oops.
I feel like if you were a British kid around that time, you had to love that game. Like, it was so pervasive.
Oh, yeah. And it was on everything
and it's great. Yeah.
It's the British version of RC Pro-Am over here.
That's... I was just going to say that, where it's like, we had RC Pro-Am over here. You guys had Super Monaco GP. You guys probably won out in the end. And you had Sensible Soccer.
Which is
great.
Garbage.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, yeah.
Okay, let's see what else.
First time exposures for real world hobbies. Oh,
I know. I never liked puzzles until I played Puzzle Arcade. I'm just kidding. I love puzzles. I always have loved puzzles.
Well, I was trying to think. There was that really great bowling game on the NES. I think that's just called Bowling, or like Williams Bowling. But bowling was so popular for us when we were kids that definitely wasn't the first time.
I think I bowled my first time before I ever played a bowling game.
Yeah, like it was so popular.
I hate cricket. I hate rugby. I'm not a huge fan of the NFL or basketball. Baseball's boring.
I'll say not directly, but I've always liked building things. And I have an on-again, off-again random obsession with Gundam. Okay. And so playing one of the Gundam games kind of got me into the Gundam modeling scene for a little bit there. I still have...
The marketing worked.
Yeah. We need to get you on a show with Musum is what we need.
I've still got a... Oh, God, what is it? It's a professional grade red Astra that I still have to build, and it is a massive... Oops. It is a massive box, and it's a lot of pieces, and I got it dirt cheap, which is why I bought it, because I don't even think I'm still ready to take on such an endeavor yet.
Right. You gotta take like a week off from work. And yeah. I feel badly because this is a really great question that I feel like we don't necessarily have a great answer for.
Because we're all old and we experienced a lot of things.
It's a generational thing, because I don't know about you guys, but I was going to pubs and stuff like that when I was like 7 to go for like a Sunday pub lunch, and it's like there's the pool table, there's the dartboard, there's the stage that the band gets up on every Friday. It's like
bowling alleys did a similar thing for us, where it's like here's the billiards tables and arcade machines and stuff like that.
Like, if I was a kid these days, I wouldn't leave the house, so therefore it would probably be my only exposure to things like billiards and pool and snooker and...
Yeah.
Well, nowadays, too, depending on where you live, it's kind of hard to just find a billiards area.
Right.
Sure, and even
that isn't like a bar.
I want to say even bowling areas sometimes, depending on where you're at, are hard to find. I've got 2 of them in the area that I live in. And one of them actually expanded to the point where they have, like, laser tag in there, and they have their own arcade area, so, like, a massive area, so we go there.
Well, that's good, because I was going to say, most of the time, nowadays, arcades aren't really around anymore, unless they're, like, a Dave & Buster's, which is still doing okay, or it's, like, a laser tag, and we have 2 machines over in the corner.
Yeah.
It's not like we have 30 machines and 20 pinball tables and skee ball and stuff like that.
Let me tell you about Craig's Cruisers.
Okay.
Did you guys have those in Ohio?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me really tell you about Craig's Cruisers.
Okay.
So, Craig's Cruisers is basically a place here in Michigan where you can go to. I thought they were outside of Michigan as well, but they have like a little go-kart track that you can go on. All ages, depending on where you go, they have electrical inside ones because, we're in Michigan and it's wintertime. But then they also have gas ones that you can go around the track and stuff. And it's pretty sweet, but they also have a massive, the one in the next town over, because I have one in this tiny town. This one is basically a building that's nothing but an arcade. And then outside it has go-karts, and then it has batting cages, and there's a mini golf course and all that. The
Nice.
one in the town over actually has the indoor electric track, a massive outdoor gasoline track, and a massive arcade area, so with laser tag.
That's cool.
So,
yeah, growing up, we never had anything like that. Like we had arcade in like every mall, and there was a really cool putt course that was near our house, but like nothing where all the stuff was combined together. Yeah. Great question, Late Health. Just, unfortunately, well, when we were growing up, like a lot of the games that were trying to emulate that stuff kind of sucked. Where it's like, here's a golf game, and like, yeah, it's golf, but it is not really that great. Where it's like Mario Golf, where it's like not really a sim experience.
Dude, Mario Tennis is still one of the best tennis games.
It's true.
I was say, while everyone was playing Legend of Zelda at that time on the original Nintendo, I was actually exploring sewer systems in my neighborhood, so I was already living that.
Yep.
That's right. Got your tetanus shot real early.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in questions. That's our episode this week. TVGP.tv is where you can find us, and follow us on the right-hand side of the page. All that stuff. Patreon.com/E1M, the ones are numbers. Early access behind the scenes. There's a really great Outcast this week. So it is significantly longer than usual as well. So go sign up for that. $5 a month gets you everything. Game Club, we're playing a lot of Stardew Valley. So you can come join us in this burgeoning problem that I knew I would have.
Yep. Don't worry, I'm giving you the free taste, then Mina's going to tell you all about Rune Factory, and then we're done.
On top of him playing Atelier.
Yep. Yeah, like she's talking a lot about Rune Factory 4 in Discord, and I was like, yeah, man, that all sounds really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my farm, my Stardew Valley farm, my wife and I need to run this farm. Like I can't just let it fall to ruin. So Stardew Valley. For patrons, we just started a brand new game for We Rogue Like It. Go check that out on the Patreon. And I think we're halfway through Solitarica on the public feed. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff. There's a brand new episode of All Dog New Flicks for patrons and for the public feed.
It's another one of those weird months where the weeks are just odd because suddenly it's Sunday and Pup wasn't yesterday, and I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's just that leap year. Getting us every time, man. So I think the long and the short of it is there's a whole lot of content out right now.
And more
$5 a month. Patreon.com/E1. What's that?
And more is coming.
Yeah, we have a problem.
As Moon says, holding his head in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go become a patron and you'll get early access to the brand new thing that Moon and I are starting because we have a problem.
No.
Details forthcoming.
We don't have a problem.
I was trying to share the blame. I am the problem.
Have a problem. I am just supporting you like a good friend.
It's true. That's true. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Nimp, hit me with your titles.
All right, I have a very short list this week. The
me
first
too.
one is the hottest newness. 6 or 16 days. Game Pass game of myself. About to get my white suit.
That sounds like I'm about to be put in an asylum, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you're finally lost it, getting the white suit.
And lightheadedness.
Yeah.
We said that at the exact
visual.
same time as well.
It's such a good visual joke, like real early on. Like the very first patient has like gout, I think, or something like something fairly common. But like that first person coming in with a light bulb on their head, and the game says you've just discovered lightheadedness, and it's like, yeah, awesome.
Well, and the way you guys brought up that game too, I was like, oh, this is gonna go one way. It's either gonna be something stupid graphic or just stupid.
It's it's stupid every time, and it's so great.
Yep. All right, Moon, what's your titles?
I Can't Stop. I Suffered Some Losses. Sweet Sweet Chivo. input latency in my mind, got a broken horse, made in dreams, poof, gone, fall down a gopher hole, cooling down and pondering life, lightheadedness, and 30 years past retirement.
Cooling down and pondering life. I have squishy little squishies. Dead by Friday afternoon, which is
oh god,
really good. The hottest newness, input latency in my mind, and the one I totally forgot, which was cooling down and pondering life.
They're all pretty solid.
I like Dead by Friday afternoon and cooling down.
Cooling down and pondering life is pretty. It's long, but it's pretty representative.
It's pretty
this
snappy.
Week.
Yeah.
I'm game.
I'd be okay with that one, yeah. Okay. All right, it has been circled. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Well, I haven't circled it yet, punk.
Well, you're going to highlight it.
Technically, I highlighted 3, and then I circled 1.
Oh. Uh-huh.
I make it more
Narrowing
complicated
it down
for myself every week.
That's right. That's right.
Every
Drunk
time
with power.
Every time I see you hold up your tablet and I see that you actually write on yours, I'm like, I should probably start doing that. And then here I am still just tapping away at the keyboard.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would, but the problem I have is my tower sits on the same desktop that I would tap on. And whatever is going on with my shock mount that doesn't work, or something's touching against the thing, or whatever, but anytime I tap on literally the opposite side of the desk, it vibrates through my microphone every single time. So it's like I have to do something, but having it down here and tippy typing is a lot harder than just scribbling. And
the most important thing, though, your pop filter works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest issue I have is just that I have big fingers, so on a anything touchpad, I'm hitting 2-3 buttons at once.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the best thing about this thing is because I hated it at first because I was so confused. Because it's like I can touch it and it'll bring up the keyboard. Yeah. But then if you bring the pen close to it, touching does nothing. I was like, why does it do that? I want to press this button while I'm writing, and then I realized it's because it doesn't. If you're leaning on it and writing,
your palm,
it doesn't want this side to be touching.
Smart.
It's like, okay, that's actually very clever. I just need to learn to flip the pen further away when I want to actually touch the screen.
Right.
Thinking about things you didn't know you needed.
Thanks, Microsoft.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, Samsung.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Samsung.
Okay.
I think I have something.
I think so.
Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 645 from March 2nd, 2020. Cooling down and pondering life.
18 days till hell breaks loose.
And then I just spent 8 hours on Formula 1.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us live or watching the archive. See you next week. Bye.
Go.
Bye.
And we can stop recording.